Hello, my name is Griffin Laughlin, and I am currently a student in the Masters of Science in Sports Management program at Jacksonville State University. Jacksonville State University is a major university in the Southeast located just about 20 minutes over the Georgia border into Alabama. Surrounding Jacksonville State areas are Oxford and Anniston, as well as the Gadsden area, which are all about 20 to 30 minutes away. Jacksonville State University is located about an hour and a half from Atlanta and about 2 hours from Birmingham, Alabama. Why am I telling you all of this? The main reason is because I'm here to promote the Masters of Science in Sports Management program here at Jacksonville State University. JSU has so much to offer its students, including an amazing program in sports management as a master's and undergraduate degree. Originally, I am from Duluth, Georgia, and I graduated St. Pius X Catholic High School. From there, I then went to get my undergraduate degree from the University of Alabama, where I graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2020 in athletic training. After I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I sat for my board of certification exam and became a certified athletic trainer. After becoming a certified athletic trainer, Jacksonville State University reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in a graduate assistant position as the certified athletic trainer for Jacksonville State University football as well as Jacksonville State University cheerleading. What that means is that I am the primary point of healthcare for the student athletes with the football and the cheerleading teams. Being an athletic trainer, I never realized the business aspects that went into this job while I was an undergrad. The reason I say this is because no amount of classroom time can teach you for the crazy amount of demands that being in any type of healthcare has behind the scenes in the business or management world, and the amount of planning that goes into certain aspects of this job. With all of this being said, when I originally was reached out by JSU to take this graduate assistant position, they said that I was able to get my master's in two different fields. The first was a master's in human performance, and the second was a master's of science in sports management. At the time when they called me to offer me the position as a GA here at JSU, I was unsure about what road I was going to take in terms of what I should get my master's degree in. After having a conversation or two with my mentor, Jeff Allen, at the time, who was the head athletic trainer at the University of Alabama, it was my decision that I came to get my master's of science in sports management. The reason that I say this is because my goal in 10 years is to be an associate athletic director in charge of sports management, as well as a certified athletic trainer at a major university. Now, why does a master's in sports management help you with that? The reason that it helps you with that is because as an associate athletic director for sports medicine, you have to be aware of so many aspects of sports management that are never originally brought to your attention in the non-athletic director position. So I then took the position at Jacksonville State as a graduate assistant getting their master's in sports management. So, a few things about JSU's sports management program that made me really nervous at the very beginning was the fact that I was coming from no sort of finance background, or business background, or marketing background. I got my bachelor's degree in a form of healthcare, not anything to do with the business world. That really intimidated me coming into JSU and getting my master's in something more business related. I had never been great at math or reading or anything like that, but I had always wanted to be in that atmosphere as well. Jacksonville State University's Masters of Science in Sports Management does a great job of incorporating students from all different types of undergraduate backgrounds and making the material very marketable and very easy to digest and understand. The way they do this is through amazing faculty and staff members that make themselves available to students whenever they need it. On top of that, the curriculum is challenging, however, it is presented in a way that builds upon itself and is very digestible by the students that are consuming it. With all of that being said, and another major factor that made me choose the Masters of Science in Sports Management is that the Masters of Science in Sports Management at Jacksonville State University is 100% online. I had never been a great online class taker in undergraduate. However, the way Jacksonville State breaks their online classes down is very, very friendly to its students and allows them ample amounts of time to complete assignments and make sure that they are doing things the right way. As I previously stated, the curriculum builds on one another, meaning that what you learn in one semester will then be built on more the next semester and the semester following. Another thing that Jacksonville State University does that is fantastic is that it provides ample opportunities to its students. For example, students typically get great jobs and internships when they're related to this program. Jacksonville State University partners with some of the biggest names in athletics, including the Houston Texans, the Los Angeles Chargers, Talladega Superspeedway, Georgia Tech University, as well as the Nashville Predators, and many, many more. Some other things that are key to know about JSU's sports management program is that it is nationally ranked by both Intelligent.com and BestColleges.com. With regards to Intelligent.com, it ranks JSU's Masters in Science and Sports Management program number 3 in the United States and the number 1 program at any public university within the United States. JSU's Masters in Sports Management is also nationally ranked by BestColleges.com, a very reputable source for students looking at what university would be the best fit for them when coming out of undergraduate degrees. BestColleges.com ranks JSU's Masters of Science in Sports Management top 10 of all online Masters in Sports Management programs for 2021. This is a huge accolade for Jacksonville State University and gives a lot of credit and shows just how great of a job the faculty, staff, and the university does at bolstering this program. On top of all of that, Jacksonville State University provides great work experiences. As I previously stated, I work with the JSU football team. The Jacksonville State University Athletics Department has been a joy to work for over the past 2 years that I have been a part of this community. They have always been open and accepting and challenged me to make my learning better, as well as give me opportunities to implement what I'm learning in the classroom in the real setting. A great example of this is when I first got to Jacksonville State and I was going through my sports finance class. I had to create a bid sheet. Well, it just so happened that the time the assignment was due was just roughly around the time that the sports medicine department was submitting all of its bids to its vendors in order to purchase supplies for the next year. That gave me a great learning opportunity from the standpoint that it was interactive. I've always been a hands-on learner, and it really gave me a deeper understanding of how sports finance works, as well as budgeting and marketing. Another opportunity that I was given at Jacksonville State University when working with the sports medicine department was the development of emergency planning. Now, in my event management class at JSU, we didn't necessarily learn about emergency planning in particular. We learned more about how to get the venues set and vendors and concessions and amongst other things. But this really gave me a good foundation for when I had to make sure that emergency action plans were implemented across JSU's campus for all of their athletics facilities, teams, and different venues. Those are just a few examples of how the Masters of Science in Sports Management at JSU is so relatable to all aspects of jobs, not just only individuals who are working in the business or marketing atmosphere. Some more general information about the sports management world in general is that the sports market will be worth about $73.5 billion in North America alone this year, according to Forbes magazine. From media and merchandising to athlete and sport venue management, it's very clear that the United States has ample amounts of job opportunities for all individuals with some type of sports management background. One of the questions I oftentimes get asked by friends and family members is, what do I plan on doing with my master's degree? As I stated previously, I have plans to remain a certified athletic trainer as well as become an associate athletic director for sports medicine. However, some of the more traditional job settings you see with an individual with a master's of science in sports management would be a pro athletic organization manager, a sports marketing and advertising individual, event and facility management, strategic planning and finance, athletic management and talent development, or university athletic directors or high school athletic directors. With regards to all of these fields, the Master's of Science in Sports Management at Jacksonville State University gives a phenomenal basis on which to perform all of those jobs to the students' best of their abilities. Jacksonville State University also prides itself on being one of the leading public universities in the Southeast, with classroom renovations as well as a brand new recreational facility for students who are in Jacksonville, as well as a top-tier library and other great amenities provided to students. Jacksonville State University is quickly becoming one of the most sought-after universities in the Southeast, not only for its master's degree in sports management, but for its degrees all across the board. When you are first admitted into the Jacksonville State University Master's of Science in Sports Management program, you're presented with two different tracks that you can take with regards to your educational experience. You're provided with a non-teaching track, which means that you just receive a master's degree in sports management with no teaching or experience or anything like that. However, they offer another track, which includes a Class A teacher certification. The Jacksonville University's Master of Science in Sports Management also offers a teaching track for individuals interested in that line of work, which includes teaching athletic directors and trainers and participants the ins and the outs of the sports management world. As I previously stated, JSU offers a Class A teacher certification option. To qualify for this track, however, you will need to possess a valid and renewable fourth-year bachelor's level teaching certificate in any area of education or a higher degree in fifth-year teaching certification. Now, this option isn't for everybody, including myself. However, it does provide an amazing opportunity and goes to my point prior that JSU does everything for its students in order to open up different avenues of education. Another thing that made Jacksonville State University so appealing to myself personally was the emphasis in which the university as a whole puts on internships. Now, what this means is that Jacksonville State University, for almost every major on this campus, means that you have to do some form of internship and work experience in order to graduate. This is a fantastic aspect of the university as a whole because it allows students to get a feel for what the real world work environment is, which not a lot of individuals have once they graduate college. With regards to the Master's of Science in Sports Management program, you have to have at least one semester of an internship in order to graduate. Personally, I am doing my internship with the assistant athletic trainer at Jacksonville State University, Alex G., who is also in charge of marketing and budgeting. This gives me great real-life work experience while remaining in my current setting and working with the team that I already take care of from a healthcare standpoint. On top of all of that, you have an administration that works hand in hand with you in the athletics department to make sure that your work ethic and your work is quality, as well as they teach you how to structure your work so that it is building on your curriculum. In my time from when I graduated from the University of Alabama to now in my career at Jacksonville State University, doors have been open for me that I never thought would be opened when I first took this position. A free education was given to me by Jacksonville State University in return for working for them, which has been one of the greatest pleasures of my life. On top of all of that, I've been provided with great opportunities from our head coach of the football team, John Gross, as well as his staff. I've been given nothing but the utmost respect, as well as been treated like family by all of the athletic administrators here at Jacksonville State University, and I have been treated but nothing like a full-time staff member rather than a graduate assistant since the moment I stepped foot on this campus. It has been my express pleasure to work with the Jacksonville State University Athletics Department, both creating long-lasting friendships and co-workers that I will never forget, even when I move on from Jacksonville State University. I was provided a chance to travel to every single away game with JSU with no hesitation or no complaints from administrators or coaching staff. I was able to help the university win an Ohio Valley Conference championship in the spring of 2021 when we beat Murray State to win the OVC championship. I've been a part of a world-class cheerleader group, a group of men and women who work diligently as well as day and night in order to make sure that this university in all of its stature looks fantastic. I can't say enough great things about Jacksonville State University, and I really do believe that there is no better place in the country to get your Master's of Science in Sports Management because of how welcoming the community is in Jacksonville. It seems like you're not able to go to the store without somebody you know from class or somebody you work with knowing your name. For me, that is huge just from the standpoint of the communal aspect of this university. So the next question is to ask, how can you become a part of this Jacksonville State University community? Well, I think the next appropriate step is to discuss some of the admissions requirements relating to the Master's of Science in Sports Management program. Once an individual determines that they wish to apply for the Master's of Science in Sports Management program, you will need to complete your GRE as well as have your bachelor's degree and transcripts from the university in which you went to. And there are 2 lines of admission at Jacksonville State for the Master's of Science in Sports Management. The first is the unconditional admissions process, where applicants may be eligible for unconditional admission to the program with a GPA on the initial undergraduate degree of at least a 2.75 on a 4.0 scale. There's also a conditional admission. Applicants who fail to meet the 2.75 GPA requirement for unconditional admission will be admitted as conditional admissions to the program, meaning that they will be admitted to the program, but they will have to make sure that their GPA is raised by the end of their first semester. With all of this being said, I can't thank Jacksonville State University enough, as well as the people who have helped me along my journey, in which I would like to give some recognition to now. The first individual I would like to give recognition to is my boss, and as well as the person who hired me originally and offered me a graduate assistantship here, which is Michael Polasic, who is the head athletic trainer at Jacksonville State University. The next individual I would like to give major recognition to is Alex G., the assistant athletic trainer in charge of budgeting and marketing for JSU, and who allows me to work side by side with him every day as an equal rather than a graduate assistant to an assistant athletic trainer. The next individual I would like to thank is Greg Bonds. Greg Bonds is the associate athletic director for the athletics department here at Jacksonville State University. Dr. Bonds has done nothing for me except treat me with kindness and respect ever since I've been here. On top of all of that, I would like to thank some of the Masters of Science in Sports Management administrators and faculty members who have done such an amazing job developing this program to be so welcoming to new students and students with little to no experience in the business or management world. Thank you to Dr. Overton for all of the help that you have given me in my time here at Jacksonville State University. Thank you to Miss Pamela Jumper, who makes admissions so easily, as well as registration for the classes. Finally, I think it's very important for me to tell you how you can become a Jacksonville State University Gamecock and get your Master's of Science in Sports Management. If you're interested in more information, the Master's of Science in Sports Management offices are located on beautiful Jacksonville State University campus in Kennemer Hall at 700 Pelham Road North in Jacksonville, Alabama. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out via cell phone or via phone at 256-782-5515 or visit the Jacksonville State University website and go under graduate programs and find Masters of Science in Sports Management. If you have any other questions in particular that are not answered by any of the other means that were listed, please feel free to reach out to Dr. Overton, the Department Chair and Program Director of the Masters of Science in Sports Management program at roverton1, that's ROVERTON1 at jsu.edu. We look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that you enjoy your time as a Gamecock.